Well, hello everyone. I'm Donald Clark. I am one of the acupuncturists here at CNY Healing Arts, CNY Fertility. I hope everybody is well. I'm using the earphones today, the mic, so if for some reason you can't hear me, let me know and we'll try it again. I hope everyone's well. We have had a pretty good run up here in upstate New York. It's been a little cool, and we're finally going to get a little bit of rain, and it has been so dry. But it's early enough in the season where it really hasn't started to affect us, our crops. So we're looking forward to some rain. How about that smoke, huh? Everybody on the East Coast just got blanketed with some smoke, and that was crazy. I've never seen that before. I have seen it out west, but I've never seen it in upstate New York, so that was kind of interesting. So the title of my live today is Blood Health, and when we're dealing with fertility or fertility issues or just general health, we want to make sure our blood is strong. And when I mean strong, I mean it has all the iron and all the health that we need. So, I've talked about this in the past, and we'll talk a little bit about it a little bit more today. One of the most common deficiencies I see with fertility or with women in general is a blood deficiency. And when I mean blood deficiency, it means the blood isn't as strong as it could be in order to keep the body healthy. And so, strong blood equals strong everything, right? Strong blood equals strong energy, strong muscles, strong bones, strong everything. And so keeping your blood healthy is number one. And that's kind of like the beginning stages of the beginning treatment of when someone comes in and they're having some fertility obstacles. Making sure that their blood is healthy is the number one thing we do. And because women have menstrual cycles, they tend to lose a lot of blood. Men can be blood deficient as well, but it's not as common as it is for women to be blood deficient. So, making sure that we have a healthy, strong blood supply is number one. And I don't mean, circulatory. I mean the overall health of the blood. And anyone that's been anemic understands how you feel when you are anemic. And so, we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So what are some of the symptoms of blood deficiency, right? So some of the symptoms of blood deficiency are fatigue, dizziness, out of breath, bruising, right? So if you have random, mysterious bruisings, and you're not sure how I got that bruise, you may be blood deficient. Cold, if you're always cold. Those are all the kind of the symptoms that your blood isn't as strong as it could be. And blood deficiency, if left unchecked, will move into anemia. And anemia is when you really need to start treatment for that. Blood deficiency is a little bit more mild, and it's something you can treat through diet and lifestyle. But generally speaking, if it goes unchecked, or if you lose a substantial amount of blood, it will move into anemia. And anemia is not good for anything. If you're anemic or severely blood deficient, it's really hard for the body to have a viable follicle or a viable egg, and that's our main goal, right? Is to create viable follicles and eggs. And if you're anemic and blood deficient, it's just really hard for the body to do that, right? So, what are some of the causes of blood deficiency? Well, I think the number one cause of blood deficiency is inflammation, right? So if we're eating the wrong foods and it's affecting our stomach, and especially if you're gluten sensitive, or you have gluten sensitivities, and you have inflammation in your stomach or in your gut, you're not absorbing nutrients like you should be, right? So your absorption rates have just plummeted. if you're dealing with a lot of inflammation. And that's really easy to correct, right? It might take a little bit to get the inflammation down. But once it's down and your absorption rates go up, then the blood deficiency starts to ease a little bit. And so heavy menstrual cycles can be another reason why you would be blood deficient or anemic, or trauma. If you had some trauma and you've lost a lot of blood, that's going to drop your blood levels. And it can even be inherited, right? Some types of anemia or blood deficiency are inherited. And so it's something that you've been working with your whole life, generations. And so there's lots of reasons why we could become blood deficient or anemic, but those are generally the reasons why. And so lifestyles. If you run down, if you're going a million miles an hour, if you're eating all the wrong foods, it's hard for your body to have a healthy, solid, strong baseline, a strong blood. And so that's the number one thing, right? Like we are professional people, and we go, and it's so important to listen to your body and slow down. If you're family planning, slowing down lifestyle changes to better results of your procedures or your cycles is the easiest thing compared to everything else that's going to come. And so take advantage of it. Slow down. One of my do's and don'ts for patients is don't work overtime if you can help it. So many people go so hard, and they work overtime, and overtime is part of their lives. And then they ask, they say, I don't know why I don't have time for anything. Well, it's because you're going so hard. It's because you're run down and you're tired. And so I always tell people, the first thing you need to do to help you with your blood deficiency or your anemia is slow down, right? Give yourself more time. Give your body a breather. And usually when we slow down, we're eating better for ourselves. We're not just eating empty calorie foods, right? And those are just killers, right? The cakes and the cookies and potato chips. I love it all, but it wears on your body, and it's not good for you. And so keep that in mind. Stress, right? If we're constantly stressed out and our stomachs are just churning and turning, and we're eating horribly and we're not digesting our food properly, all that's going to lead to blood deficiency, anemia. So some of the simple treatments with this, blood deficiency on the whole spectrum of things that could go bump in the night into the fertility world is so small, so low, and it's so easily treated. Some of the ways that we treat blood deficiency or anemia is, we talked about, lifestyle changes. Slow down. Start incorporating some yoga, some meditation into your lifestyle by slowing down. By slowing down a lot, you're going to oxygenate your body. You're going to be able to absorb your food a little bit better, and that's going to help a substantial amount. Keeping a mind-body connection, right? Keeping the mind and the body connected is crucial. We plow through lives and we don't really listen to our bodies. We kind of depend on someone else to tell us what's wrong with our body, right? Exams, physical, blood draws, right? We're kind of leaving it up to medicine to tell us what's going on with our bodies. We're not actually taking the time to listen to our bodies or to invest into our bodies, right? That's just kind of the way it is, because we're cruising through life and life is busy, But taking that time and keeping that mind-body connection is really crucial. And just that simple step is humongous. It's monumental in our overall health. So try to keep that mind-body connection. Acupuncture is super duper effective in treating blood deficiencies, right? Like the spleen is responsible for our blood, creating our blood and keeping our blood healthy. And so we keep our spleens healthy by keeping our digestive, current and normal and not sluggish, you know, and our liver function, keeps moving the blood, keeps the blood moving to parts of the body where we need it the most. Women, it's the uterus and ovaries and reproductive area, and men, it's the same thing, but essentially it's everywhere in the body. And so if we have good liver chi and we have good spleen blood, our blood level is going to stay super strong and super healthy. And that's what we need to, when we focus on fertility, building follicles, building lining. It's all crucial, having a strong, healthy blood flow. And if you can do that, sorry, if you can do that, it's gonna be a lot easier with your family planning than otherwise. And obviously, you can, if you are going into a more severe blood deficiency, such as anemia, right? A lot of people have had transfusions because of their anemia. But I say, take some iron. Don't be afraid to take a little bit of iron. And I don't necessarily recommend to my patients to take iron daily. I say take it 2 times a week. And because what happens is it can start to mess with your bowels. It can make your bowels really thick and sluggish. And that can lead to other problems, uncomfortable problems, nothing severe, but constipation. Nobody wants constipation. So, try to moderate how much iron you take. But that's going to help substantially, right? And, we just don't want you to have a blood deficiency. It's not going to benefit anybody. And if you're in a situation where you feel like you're getting all your nutrients and you're still struggling with blood deficiency, it could be a stress thing. And acupuncture is just super, super good with stress reduction. It just puts you in a place where your body relaxes, right? Where your body breathes a little bit, and a little bit of investment in your body future goes a long ways. The body responds so well to health, to love, and so if you do a little bit of proactive work, be it lifestyle change and dietary and acupuncture, you're going to get huge payouts from that. I do encourage people to prevent gut inflammation, right? Gut inflammation is a huge cause of blood deficiency. So there's a few things you can do for that. I encourage people to eat higher fat foods, right? So eat lots of fatty foods. Dr. Kilty's recommendations in diet are really good for blood. Basically, it's a blood tonic diet. So follow those recommendations as well, and you'll see some great results. Fat goes a long way. Some people even like to eat liver. I'm not a big fan of eating liver, but people love liver, and that's straight iron, right? So if you find that you feel like you're getting all your nutritional needs met, but you're still blood deficiency, slow down. It could be stress. And I encourage people, especially as we go into the summer months, to fast a little bit. Decrease your caloric intake. So if you can decrease your caloric intake, it gives your digestive tract a breather as well, right? I mean, if we're constantly eating, our digestive tracts don't get a break, and so sometimes it's hard for the inflammation to get down a little bit because we're still adding in those ingredients. So try missing a meal. Try not eating for a day if you can. And if you're going to eat low caloric intake, just eat meat, eat carne, eat fat, and instead of all the inflammatory foods, right? Take that right out of your diet and focus on decreasing your caloric intake and eating more fat. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow your digestive tract and your gut health to adjust and help process out the inflammation that's there. And if you can do that, because you're eating a higher fat, a higher meat diet, you can be flooded with iron, and that's going to help because you've got iron in the meat, and you've got fat to help transport it. And so now there goes your blood deficiency right out the door. It's really simple. It's not a difficult task. However, if you are a vegetarian or let's say a pagan, if you're a pagan, if you're a vegan, then you've got your different avenues that you're going to take to decrease blood deficiency, and those are good too. But I do encourage, even if you are such, to slow down your caloric intake. So decreasing your calories is going to make a big difference in allowing your body to take a big breather to help adjust to the blood deficiency. And it's not a disease. It's just a very temporary condition. I don't know if you call it a condition. It's temporary adjustment, and it's very easy to treat. So I encourage people to get their blood levels checked just to make sure you're not anemic. You can be borderline anemic, right, and which is generally indication that you're blood deficient. But when you have your menses or your menstrual cycle, chances are you're full-blown anemic. And though it be temporary, it's during that period it's really difficult. And some months might be harder to bounce back out of that than other months. So check your blood level. I do encourage you to do that. And that's just going to it's just going to eliminate one thing. It's going to cross off one thing that I am not, or I have no problems with my family planning, going into a cycle, or IUI cycle, or IVF cycle, or just trying to get pregnant naturally, or just because you want to stay healthy. A lot of people in the world that aren't trying to have children that deal with anemia or blood deficiency. And what it can do, and like I said, some of the symptoms are just incredible fatigue and cold, and you just feel horrible. So that's look into that, and that's something very simple. If you're struggling with it, and you're struggling with all of those symptoms, and go to the store and get some iron, and take an iron pill, once or twice a week, just for a week. Just see how you feel. If you bounce back a little bit, you're not so wilted, like a flower, a wilted flower. If you're not so wilted, chances are you're dealing with it, and some of those things we talked about can substantially help. I'll throw my glasses on. I should be able to read that, but I apologize. I can't. So, hold on. What can I do to help with my iron levels? Well, we just talked a little bit about what you can do, but fat, meat, high iron feed, right? High iron meat. Lifestyle changes, slow down, right? Breathe a little bit, acupuncture, yoga, all of that, meditation. Other than supplements, that's what I recommend. Eat all fatty meats are high in iron. Don't if you aren't opposed to eating fatty meats, then go for it. Decrease calories. Stay away from the empty calories. The empty calories will get you every time, because what it does is it fills you up, and you're just burning off carbohydrates, and you're feeding your stomach ingredients that are just going to cause more inflammation, and that's going to decrease your absorption rate, and now you have less iron, or less all the important ingredients for a healthy blood supply. So try those things, and I hope that helps you. So email me, text me, set up consultations with me. I'd love to talk with everybody in person about it. And keep doing the great work. Get outside. I hope everyone's adjusting to the spring. You're welcome. Um, you know, you can set up a consultation and we can talk over the phone in depth about it on Wednesdays if you want to. So, I hope everyone's adjusting to the spring. The last video that I talked about adjusting to the spring, right? Coming out of the dark and into the spring, and how that's going to help move you into summer. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. It's informative. I hope all is well, and if you need anything, just call. Thank you.